Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here once again. Right, something really different today, okay? I am going to talk about Studio Ghibli and anime in general, I guess. This was yet again another thing that I really got into over the course of my little hiatus, you know? Like, I experienced a whole lot of stuff on that hiatus, and half the time I feel like I'm just making videos to catch up on that, but whatever. Studio Ghibli, does it need any introduction at this point? Yeah, I'm just gonna go through all the films, my favourites, my least favourite to my favourite. I'm only gonna do 5 in a video, you know, so you don't have to watch like an hour-long video, because let's face it, when you're talking about stuff like this, especially when you're a rambling bastard, you tend to, well, ramble, you know? And it's currently 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, and I'm in here bitching about anime on the internet, you know? The life of a nerd, eh? Okay, now, as I said at the beginning of the video, very drastic change, and on one hand, right, I have a weird sort of thing when it comes to anime, right? On one hand, I'm just basically a moderate anime fan, right? But on the other hand, I want to think of myself as, like, the biggest anime fan ever who doesn't watch that much anime. I know that makes no sense, but I've always been intrigued by anime, you know, obviously, the whole look at the shit I do, you know, with gaming and stuff, you kinda can't not be that influenced by anime. I don't know, I just basically always feel like I don't watch as much as I do. In fact, marathoning the Studio Ghibli films was probably the biggest anime phase I went through in the past, like, 6 years, because back in my, college days, that's when I found out about torrenting. I watched anime all the fucking time, you know, I'd watch, like, an entire season, 26 episodes in one day, you know, that's how fucking obsessed I was back then, but it just kind of dissipated over time, and yeah. But Studio Ghibli, after getting that little rant out of the way, yeah, basically I keep hearing them being called the Pixar of Japan, you know, like this studio that makes like such good films, such good childhood favourites, and yeah, I didn't know about them for the longest time, to be honest. In fact, hold on, I might as well show this. Here it is. The first Studio Ghibli related thing I ever experienced was this. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. This is a JRPG by Level 5, and they just got Studio Ghibli to do like the little animations in the cutscenes, you know? I guess they just wanted to tag Studio Ghibli's name to it. And this is a phenomenal game, right? You love JRPGs, you really should give this a shot, you know? It is absolutely fantastic. But I want to say that game actually kickstarted my interest in this company, but it was always something I meant to get around to, you know, like, oh, Spirited Away, because that was the one I kept hearing about, Spirited Away, you know, which will show up much later in this list, I assure you. You know, that was the one I kept hearing about, and I tried watching it, I remember, because I had a good friend and his girlfriend, you know, they were massive Studio Ghibli fans. They were like, oh, Donald, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch that. And he lent me a copy of Spirited Away. I remember I got like 20 minutes into it, and I stopped. You know, I was like, nah, I'm not feeling this. You know, I was probably in like a bit of a mood at that point. And yeah, just for whatever reason, I just dropped it. But it wasn't until like almost a year later, when I moved into this flat, I ordered Spirited Away off Amazon.co.uk, right? Why did I order it? I wanted to test how quickly and how efficiently the post worked in this new area that I was living in, you know? Spirited Away was my guinea pig. But sure enough, it comes here in the post, eventually. And yeah, I left it lying for a little bit, and then I'm finally like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna watch it. And I really liked it. It was really good, okay? So, when I like just something that's part of a larger thing, even a little bit, I have to buy them all. So yeah, I went out and I bought like every Studio Ghibli film, you know, like in parts, you know. So, to start off this list, I'll probably put a little annotation or something so that you don't have to listen to me rant, because how far are we into this video already? Fuck's sake, Donald. Okay, the first one, I'm actually going to talk about both of these together, because these are the two ones that I have not watched yet, for various reasons. Those are Tales from the Earthsea and Grave of the Fireflies. Okay, we'll talk about this one first, Tales of the Earthsea. The reason why I've not watched this one, my DVD keeps skipping. Okay, I don't know what it is. It's like, it's in fucking mint condition and it keeps jumping whenever I'm trying to watch it, you know, it's annoying. Now, I know that this one is kind of infamous amongst Ghibli fans, because it's actually directed by Goro Miyazaki, who is Hayao Miyazaki's son, you know? And, you know, upon hearing that, I don't know if this was just me, but I thought, father trying to go into the family business and all that, can he do a good job? Because obviously, Miyazaki has always been legendary in the anime world. And yeah, he gets a lot of shit for this film, for sure. And from what I've watched of it, it wasn't that bad. You know, I got like the first 15 minutes in. And I'll say this actually, this film actually reminded me a lot of Ni no Kuni. You know, this was the only Ghibli film to kind of, I sort of made that link. Probably because the main character is a boy who has a sword and stuff. You know, it felt very JRPG-esque, you know, again, from what I played of it. But yeah, I don't know what to say about it. I've not watched it, so I can't really comment, you know. And this one, however, Grave of the Fireflies, this was technically the first Studio Ghibli film I ever heard about. I remember talking about this with my good friend Tez Chi, who you might be familiar with. I did a Let's Play of Resident Evil 5 with him. By the way, Tez Chi is like gone from the internet, by the way. He doesn't come on Skype anymore, he doesn't come on Steam anymore. Tez, if you're watching this, I miss you. Come back, please. But anyway, yeah. Now, why have I not watched this one? I can't watch this. It's too dark and depressing, okay? That's something you guys should know about me, right? I can't watch anything that's too dark, depressing, or has like too much drama in it, right? I can't even watch an episode of Coronation Street, right? I can't sit in the same room as it. The tenseness in the atmosphere of that show comes into the room, even though it's bad, obviously. It's Coronation Street, you know? But I just can't sit there in the same room as it. It makes me uncomfortable. And again, something like Grave of the Fireflies, am I really comparing Grave of the Fireflies to Coronation Street? I guess I just did, but basically, it's fucking depressing as... Oh, Jesus, you know? And it's a real shame, because the film begins with the main character's death, you know? And when you're watching it, you know, you get this really nice atmosphere of all the fireflies, and the music is wonderful. I was in that film right at the beginning, you know? I'm like, okay, I think I could watch this, but then he got to the school, okay? He gets to the school and he meets his mum. I'll not spoil it, but he got to the school and he met his mum, and I saw his mum, and I'm like, fuck this, can't watch this. That's just a thing for me, guys, alright? Like, Attack on Titan. I can't watch Attack on Titan. I tried watching Attack on Titan. No! Alright? I get teared up over Adventure Time, okay? I'm not watching that. Oh. Yeah, but Grave of the Fireflies, I'm not whacking it in the slightest. It's just something I can't watch. Right. So with those out of the way, you know, I feel bad putting them sort of here at the bottom, but I kind of have to because I've not watched them, especially Grave of the Fireflies, because that's one of the top ones right there, you know, considered to be one of the top ones from Studio Ghibli. But I just have to put it there, I'm sorry. Especially since number 18 on this list was this, Ocean Waves. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this. This isn't even necessarily a Studio Ghibli film. They just like animated it and it was shown on TV. And when it got around to like its international release, they're like, oh, let's just put this fucking Studio Ghibli collection logo on it, put a number on it so that if people don't buy it, it looks like shit on their shelves and they'll be forced to buy it because this film sucks, okay? I really did not like this. I mean, you got the two main characters, boy and a girl. It's just, there's nothing Ghibli about this at all, you know? It's just a typical, like, high school romance drama, you know, which, you know, doesn't necessarily make it bad, but she's a bitch and he's an idiot, you know? I'm watching it the whole time, I'm like, you know, it was bad. And in fact, you know what? I only saw, like, the first 15-20 minutes of these two films, right? I enjoyed them more than this. So, I'm revoking it already. This is number 20, and this is tied for number 19 and 18, I guess. So, yeah, Ocean Waves, I just didn't find anything to enjoy in that one, you know, like, really unlikable characters, really short as well. It's just, it doesn't feel Ghibli at all, you know, and I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that, so yeah, next one. Right, now, number 17 here we have Only Yesterday. Now, this was directed by Isao Takahata. I'm probably saying that wrong. He also directed Grave of the Fireflies, and he is basically the number 2 guy over there at Studio Ghibli, with Hayao Miyazaki being number 1. And he's not made that many films, you know, like, I think Miyazaki's made like twice the films he has. I think because he went on a bit of a hiatus for anime or something, I don't know, you just look at like the years of his films coming out. One comes out in 1999, and the next one comes out in like 2013, so he took like a big break or something. But he's made a handful of films with the company, this being one of them. Now, this is basically a film about, centered around a young woman, and you cross between like 2 different times in her life. One when she was a 10-year-old schoolgirl, and one when she's like my age, basically, you know, pursuing her career in 90s Japan. And obviously, in 90s Japan, she's obviously being pressured to marry and stuff, and you know, it's just basically her doing her thing, you know. She doesn't want to get married, she just wants to enjoy her career and enjoy herself, you know. And yeah, it's what to say about this one? This is not a bad film, okay? It's quite boring, I have to say that, you know. Up until I got to like the end, you know, I just wasn't feeling this film at all, because, well, like I said, there's 2 different parts to it. One where she's younger and one where she's older, and they actually use sort of different art styles. You know, when she's younger, they use more traditional moe-esque artwork, and when she's older, it's a bit more realistic, and I kind of like that. That was a nice touch. My favourite of the 2 were the more realistic ones when she was older, you know, because you got a little bit of like, you got to see like the sights of Japan and stuff and what it was like back then, and whereas when she's younger, it's just sort of typical school drama-esque stuff, you know, like she's just going through all these troubles, and I don't know, I didn't find it as interesting. Probably the thing that I took away the most from this film, and I hate to say this, is that, what's her name again, actually, the main character? God, it's not written here, it probably is, but I'm just missing out. Okay, the main character, I can't remember her name, sorry, but her family are a bunch of dicks, okay? Her dad's a dick, her mum's a dick, her sisters are dicks, okay, well, one of them was anyway, and yeah, it was just like, I felt so sorry for her at times, you know. That was probably one of the reasons why I enjoyed the scenes where she was, older, you know? Like, yeah, this is the same character in case you're looking at that all confused, like, what the fuck are you talking about, Doug? But yeah, like, Isao Takahata, you know, again, it's not a bad film, it really isn't. It's, it just wasn't for me, you know? Just not enough really happens in it, you know, it is quite boring at times, I gotta say that. I think we're running out of batteries, so I should probably press on. Okay. But yeah, Only Yesterday. Hey guys, sorry about that, the battery on this camera died as I was talking about my number 16. And that one is the first Miyazaki film on this Studio Ghibli list, Ponyo. Now, what to say about this one? This film's weird. That's all really that I can say about it. Now, you know what the thing I got from this one was, right? You know, with Pixar or something, right? They make a bunch of family films. You've probably heard this analogy before, but basically, usually we have family film, you know, they're marketed to kids, there's stuff in there for kids, but there's also stuff there of substance for, like, the adults, whether it's, like, a nice wee message or some good humour, stuff like that, you know? You know, things like that. And with this, I felt like it was made mainly for kids, you know, like, there wasn't really much I got out of it as a 20-something-year-old adult, you know? It's just like a little love story between 2 5-year-olds. One of them's a fish, and the world is brought to an end, the moon's gonna crash down, everything's flooded, the father is Liam Neeson, and the mother is a giant thing in the water. It's a really weird film. You know, And that's kind of all I thought about once it was done, you know. Obviously a really good looking film. It was one of the earlier ones I watched, but one of the later ones made, like 2008 or something. So yeah, really nice looking film. My favourite character in this was the mother. You know, I thought she was just badass, you know. Really enjoyed her whenever she's not in that long too, which kind of sucked. But yeah, the whole meat of it was the interaction between the two main characters, Ponyo and, what was his name? Yosuke? Is his name Yosuke, like in Persona 4? Or was it something else? I don't remember. But yeah, that was, oh yeah, Sosuke! Almost got it right. Yeah, that, and, you know, those two characters' interaction is quite cute, but that's kind of all it really was to me, you know. It was just cute, and there wasn't too much there for me, you know. Because, you know, like, talking about these bottom 5, obviously I'm coming off a little bit negative, but I assure you we're gonna get positive the further up we go with this list, because, yeah, the top ones on this list are films that I really, really liked, so... Yeah, I'll see you in the next one for numbers 15 through 11. So, yeah. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.